Welcome to this floral keychain tutorial. This is Samantha from Knot Too Shabby. We'll be taking you through this floral keychain tutorial here. And if you are here because you bought my kit, you will have everything that you need. But if you found this video some other way, I will list the materials needed below in the description. Let's open your kit, get everything ready, and let's get started. When we open our kit, we should have 3 colored cords, 2 long and 1 shorter, as well as our key ring. So to begin, we take out our colors, and we're going to start with the petal color, that pink shade. And we're creating a lark's head knot with that key ring. So we place the center of that cord by matching up the 2 ends and finding the middle through that key ring. We fold the loop down and pull the rest of the cords through, tightening at the top. Now we take our piece of tape or something heavy or a clipboard to secure that key ring down in our workspace. Next, we take the other longest cord, in this case gray, matching up the ends so that we can find the middle. Taking that middle, we place it behind the 2 pink cords and arrange them so that they're on the outside of those pink cords, coming to start our first square knot. To start this knot, we take the leftmost cord and bring it across the pinks, creating that figure 4. Now that rightmost gray cord will come on top of the leftmost cord, and then taking the end of that rightmost cord, we tuck it under that intersection, pulling it up and to the left, and then tightening both cords so that we have that loop coming around the right. Now to reverse this pattern and finish our square knot, we take what is now the rightmost cord, making the letter P across the 2 center pinks. And what is now the leftmost cord comes on top of the right. Taking the ends of that one, we go underneath that intersection, pulling it up and to the right before taking both ends and tightening that square knot, finishing that loop on the left. We cinch that up next to our lark's head knot. And now we're ready to move on to our falling waters knot. From here, to make the topmost petal of our flower, we take those 2 gray pieces and make a loop crisscrossing over the 2 center pinks. Taking the end of that rightmost cord, we go over the double cord and under the single. Repeat on the left. From here, we pull on both the pinks and both the grays, alternating, keeping that cross section. And as we tighten it up here, those 2 vertical pink petals will show up. From here, we pull those 2 pinks down back to the center, and we make that circle, that intersection right here, before grabbing our shortest cord, in this case green, matching up the 2 ends to find the middle, and attaching with a lark's head knot. Pulling down on that green and tightening up with those pinks. From here, we bring those center pink cords down, making sure everything is parallel, and then the gray on the outside. We start working on the side petals here by taking our leftmost gray and making a figure 4 across that pink. We take the end of the leftmost pink and go over that intersection of the pink and the gray, and underneath that single gray, pulling up I like to pull vertical on my pink string and down with my gray string to create that first loop of that side petal. Now we take that same leftmost pink, cross it into that P shape, and then bringing the gray on top, taking the tail end of that leftmost cord, we now go over that intersection and then under that single pink, once again, pulling up and to the left, this time tugging that cord to the left so that we get a nice loop on the outside. So this is a lark's head knot, but we have to do one loop at a time versus when we did it with the green and when we attached it to our key ring. Now going to the right side, we start from the top. Gray creates a loop over the pink. Tail end of the pink goes over the intersection and under the single gray, pulling vertically. And then pink wraps around to make that letter P, this time with the gray on top. And the tail end of that pink going on top and pulling up and to the right. So we get that loop on the right side. From here, we have one more petal to finish. So we return to that falling waters knot by crossing over the two grays and bringing those pinks down next to our greens. So your setup should look something like this. Looping those grays, pinks, and green. Taking the tail of that right one, we come up through that loop, on top, underneath, and repeat on the left. Once again, we pull, alternating grays and pinks until we start to tighten up, nice and snug, that petal around that innermost green. So you might have to kind of adjust as you go to create our first petal. From here, we bring our pinks back down through the center and our grays lining up on the outside. So it should go gray, pink, green, green, pink, gray. And we return to our square knot, this time keeping the pinks and the green in the middle. So starting with the left, figure 4, rightmost cord goes on top, underneath the center, and pulling up and to the left, tightening both ends. Other side, creating that P, letter P. The now left goes on top, and that tail end goes underneath and over the single, pulling tight. Now, as you can see, we've made that first petal. Now we repeat that twice more until we get to the bottom. You have enough material in your kits to make a 3-petal flower here. So we finish, or we start that second flower by starting with that falling waters knot to make the topmost petal. Now, after we made that first petal on the second flower, we need to make this center green pop out as in the first flower. So what we do is we now take, with our 2 greens in the middle, a falling waters knot with pink and green, making sure that green gets up and behind both the gray and the pink. Pulling those 4 ends to get that green waterfall knot right underneath, there we go, right underneath the pink. I like to pull my green back through the center, the pink back through the center, and then the gray on the outside here to start the 2 side petals. Finishing off that second petal, we return to the square knot. Finally, we come to make that third petal, starting with our falling waters knot, using the pinks. And then our falling waters knot, using the greens. Bringing everything down through the center, we make the lark's head knot on the left, and one more time on the right. Bringing everything down to the center, we make our last falling waters knot with the pink. Making sure that green center pops out. Bringing everything down through the center, we have 3 square knots to finish our work. From here, to finish our keychain, we grab our scissors, and I like to do about 2 fingers width, which is about the as much space as those square knots take up. I like to go about 2 widths down from finger widths down from that, and that's where I'm going to end my keychain. However, you can keep it as long as you wish. Taking off those ends, removing our tape, We can take some sort of brush or just use our fingers to start to fluff this out just a little bit. And then the last optional step with this keychain to make it a bit more secure, after you've fluffed it to your liking, would to be just a couple dabs of glue on the front and on the back of that bottommost square knot. You can use crafter's glue, super glue. If you find you need to tighten it up and then kind of reshape that bottom to your liking, there is our floral keychain. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you go like and follow my Facebook page for more tutorials and products. And thank you so much for watching.